In this video I want to analyze the mistakes I made on a daily basis and how I will come back stronger. Because if you get a lot of knowledge about yourself and new information about mindset, then there has to be that time where you have to kill your older version, and every time that lower self, that weaker version, would make a decision, you would overtake it by discipline and make the decision your higher self would do. And this video contains major mindset lessons that most people forget about when it comes to reaching any goal. So I've tried strictly focusing on business in the past 2 months, and I felt like shit because I didn't work out and all that stuff. So I will go for a run and work out, switching between those two every morning, and will get meditation and praying back into my evening routine. So I have at least some fitness and can get back to that mental strength that you get from working out, that inner clarity I will talk more about later in this video. And wealth is not only getting rich but also being healthy. And so from now on I will have more inner clarity and more focus, and will sleep 6 hours fixed from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm also getting my diet back on track, and I will be now eating in the evening. So I have like 14-15 hours of full focus. And I also want my newer version to be more like peaceful and not react to any hate, because that's also costing me a lot of energy. I'm getting in the mindset of I don't make a lot of money, I'm working hard, and as a side effect of that I'm comfortably making a lot of money. So it's like yesterday and the past weeks it was always, for example, my parents were like, you're working so hard, all for nothing, around the clock, but like consistently reminding me of the output. And I will get to that mindset mistake in a second after the cut. I've made a mindset mistake that did cost me 3 years of my life, and on almost every situation I look back I can see the same structure happening, especially in the last month of running my business. And I pulled a lot of lessons out of this, and it starts with alignment. And some people are gonna know what I'm about to talk, but I still provide extra examples and stuff, so there's still a lot of value in it. And yeah, it's a few things, but it starts with alignment, and this is just being aligned with your future self. When you know your strategy is working because you see it working for others, and you know it's just simple logic, and also you know exactly where you want to be, then you should just trust the process and focus on the input and not so much on the output, because the output can be delayed and wrong sometimes. So there was this fear for me when I work, like especially when I work 18 hours, 19 hours a day, and I think, oh, I'm doing all I can, but it's still not enough. Then I'm just focusing on the output in this case, and this can be frustrating, and you can have a fear of not reaching your goal, of being miserable. And when you have fear of something, it makes it happen. It's like, for example, when you don't want to crash in a car accident and you have fear of crashing, then the chances of you crashing are much higher because you are like this behind the wheel. And it's also, you have to cut people out, even your own family, if they have just different realities than yours. When my family is in this broken mindset of everything is so expensive and dangerous, then they have fear of going broke, and that's gonna lead to being broke. And it's you have to build your own reality, because every choice you make decides in what universe you live. So every choice you don't make or don't make, you switch the like parallel universes, and you can decide in what universe you want to live. But the last month I've just been focusing on getting the tasks done, and just working, so I feel productive, and be like, yeah, I worked so much, but I wasn't moving with clarity. I wasn't putting in intention, and this inner clarity is like, you not only work to get the task done, but you do a task because it's gonna help your goal, and you know what it's for. So basically, um, you have to have inner clarity, and focus on the input, but don't have a fear, because it's gonna set a um, barrier to that goal. It's gonna make it uh, even harder. And also there's this programmed thinking of, for example, I woke up today a little bit late, and then there's this programmed thinking of, no, I woke up late today, now the day is gonna be less productive, and I'm already starting the day with those negative thoughts. um, or, or this program thinking is everywhere. Like, when you think you make your own decisions now, most of the time it's not the case, because it's just you get a perception of what other people would think in this situation, or you saw it already, and then you are like, um, succeeding in business is very hard, and you have to hustle and sweat and with pain and everything, and then you are already going into business with this kind of thinking. So you have this perception of, oh, I need this, and then you already have this distance to your goal, because you need this and you are fearful. I don't need anything. I just focus on the input. I trust the process. I know it's gonna work. And the last month I was not aligned with myself, because my diet wasn't on point. I just wanted to get the task done, and when my diet is not on point, but I know my future self is gonna like be strong and shredded and stuff like that, then I'm not aligned with my future goals, and then I don't. When you're aligned with your future goals, it's like your future self, your dream version pulls you from above before you are, because you're on the right path, and you kind of get energy from your future self. And also, in the school is the same for me. There's just low hateful frequency of this low life energy. Everything is bad and hateful, and you have to cut people out if you want to stay on the right frequency and have the right concepts around you. Um, for example, when I'm aligned with my future self, it's just some things just don't make sense, you know. Um, if you have ideas around you from people that just don't equate to your future vision, and you have to cut those people out in this case. Um, so in the last month, I wasn't moving with clarity. I wanted to get the task done. I wasn't aligned with myself. I had this fearful doubt and mindset of, can I even do it? I'm putting all this work in, and now I'm just focusing on the input and trusting the process that it will work out. And maybe I don't have a lot of money today or tomorrow, maybe not even in a month, but I know that when I put in the effort, I'm gonna do it. And I'm also, the difference between me homeless in a year and millionaire in a year is just decisions. It's the parallel universe already exists for your decision. You just have to pick between what universe you want to live in. And I can't go back to the universe where I moved with clarity last month, and this door is closed, and now I have to make the right decisions now and stay on the right in the right universe. And basically you have all these parallel universes, and you have to make the decisions to stay in the best of it. Jeff Bezos had an example of focus on the decisions that can't be undone. Yeah, if the door closes behind you after you went in, you should think a lot about this door. For example, when I pick my product price, it's not a big door because I can go back easily and split its prices, but there are decisions you can't undo. And also, I noticed this alignment stuff when I was 14. I asked my parents to do dropshipping. Imagine 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Here's where my promise that I lost 3 years because of a mindset mistake comes into play. So 3 years ago, I already discovered organic dropshipping. I maybe actually was one of the, like, not the first one, but I was pretty early on it. Imagine I would have started 3 years ago. But this is where I saw my vision. I asked my parents, and they said no. Then I said, okay, I'm gonna do a business course in Germany. It's like very well, uh, it's like established and stuff like that. People from that business course, they have like, um, yeah, it's like they can start a business and stuff. You learn the basics there. So I did this business course in Germany for 1 month. And then and my parents still said, okay, you did this business, you're gonna do this business course, we're still not gonna allow you to start a business. And I still did it because that's what I aligned with. I aligned with starting a business at 14 years old, making something special at this young age. And my parents still said no, and I still did it because there's no other choice. You know, I aligned with that version and I followed the path. And my parents said no. And then I went back to editing videos, even thought of becoming a director, or I started again with different YouTube channels, tried to make it work otherwise. But still, my aligned version was with dropshipping, and I had 3 years of pain because my parents didn't allow me to start, because they thought organically you can't get views and get a lot of problems and stuff like that. So um, there's still a parallel universe for me out there where my parents said no, and I still started making views, showed them 1 million views, and they would have allowed me this. But this version of me never happened because I said, you don't allow me, what should I do? So it's all decision based. And I don't know how this universe is playing out where I started with 14. But, you know, butterfly effect and stuff like that. I'm now here at 17, or almost 18, and I'm gonna make the best out of it. You can't change the past, so I'm not really worrying about it. I'm now getting back aligned with my future self by getting back on a diet. Also, 2 things you need to know really quick. First thing is, set your goals with your heart, so your mind doesn't know that, I don't know, money equals freedom and stuff like that. So you really need to feel what this achievement will look like. And if you want to look these things up, just law of detachment, you know, becoming detached from outputs, and Reality Transurfing is the book. And also, if you feel like you need something, you also feel like you don't deserve it, and things just come naturally to you if you follow your path and be open-minded to every opportunity. And that's how you will take those opportunities and turn them into success. And I could have dropped out of school way sooner because I know that success is inevitable, and I'm just gonna achieve it when I keep keep following this path. So nothing else matters, and it's even in in every situation in the past. If you have this clear vision, you know that that's not the right place when you do something different, and you can trust yourself that um, you have the ability to make it work and don't need anything else. Like most people are not aligned with themselves, and then they just act like they, I don't know, they want this life, or they act like they are aligned with a like miserable version, and instead of uh, putting in the discipline and effort to go back to the aligned version, they just accept their fate. And this rule works with everything. If you want to invest in stocks to make money over the next year, you don't look at the stock price the next day to see if you're right or wrong. And if you want to lose weight, you don't, you know it's gonna work, and when you just focus on the input, then there's nothing to worry about. I can't optimize my life fully right now, but as much as I can, and I'm feeling the energy from above again for my future self. I feel it again with, you know, being completely aligned, and it's just, some people know this feeling and it's really great. Yeah, I fucked up my diet for 1 month. Like, I had a big caloric deficit. I was on track. I know I still, it's still painful to think about me starting at 14 instead of 17. Um, I didn't give up on dropshipping for 1 year. I asked my teacher, my parents for 1 year that I can start when I was just turning 17, and now at the end of 17 I can do it because that's my alignment where I have the vision. I don't want to switch business models. Also, dropshipping, very great when we are already at it. Dropshipping, you can build brands out of it. It's Blowberry to entry, but still the people with the most effort get the most reward, and you have the most upside potential. So great. I also started with making videos like for YouTube and stuff when I was 12. Before that, I was uploading it just for my gallery. You know, I just had it in the gallery. I didn't even know what YouTube was. But I'm always was kinda in the same path. You know how weird it would be if you know, until the age of 17 I make internet videos and stuff like that, and then I'm switching to making, to going to a IT shop or something like that. So it's a great feeling to, you know, since I'm 10, I'm you know, the thing I'm always walking towards, and not because in any system or something like that. Yeah, really try to implement this into your life, and I hope this video helped. I hope I can look back to this video and say, well, this was the main switching point, because I feel like it is. If you just, you know, input, no fear. This was big mistakes I made in the last month, and getting back up aligned with myself. So, see you guys. I wish you all a great day.